People are living longer these days, but that can also mean growing challenges taking care of our parents. Nearly 5.5 million Americans now have Alzheimer's disease. That number could jump to 16 million by the year 2050. Families with a history of Alzheimer's struggle with enormously difficult decisions. CBS This Morning contributor Lee Woodruff writes about her own family in the new issue of More magazine. Lee is here along with CBS News legal analyst, that would be Jack Ford, joins us at the table. Good to see you both. Lee, clearly you're very close to your sisters. You describe them as your bones, your best friends, your confidant. And the three of you have made a pact. What is it?
Watching our dad with Alzheimer's, we have decided that this is not the way we necessarily want to go, in a lingering way where we're not sure what's going on. So we have decided we'll try to figure out where the line is, recognizing that's really hard. And we've got the cocktail for how we might just sort of go to sleep and maybe not wake up.
And what is that cocktail?
Yeah.
Well, you might need to read the magazine. You want me to really tell you?
Yes.
I had to call my friend who was a physician and I told him I was writing a novel because, there are legal issues here as well.
How will you know when it's time?
See, that's the issue. How do you know where the line is? And I think as you get older, Jack and I were talking about this, you probably push the line, and we acknowledge that completely. We may pass the line. We may not make this happen, but what's important is having the conversation about end-of-life issues, and that was sort of the point of writing the article. Our parents' generation didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah. So, Jack, you have previously served on the board of the National Alzheimer's
Advisory Board. Association.
So what are the legal issues involved here as someone contemplates these end-of-life plans?
What's difficult here, Nora, is the emotional issues that we're talking about here don't necessarily intersect with the legal constraints here. The law has differentiated between end-of-life situations and quality-of-life situations. And it hasn't really embraced either of them in terms of the notion of assisted suicide. That's what you're talking about. With regard to end-of-life situations, you have 3 states in this country that have stepped forward, 2 by legislation, 1 by court decision, and said, we will allow physician-assisted suicide, but limitations within 6 months of dying, essentially. What hasn't been embraced is the notion of, all right, how do we deal with quality of life deterioration? And the law has not accepted in any way, shape, or form somebody stepping in and helping out somebody else to end their life because their quality of the life has deteriorated so dramatically. So that is an area that the law doesn't provide any assistance.
It's so gray, and it's different for everybody, and that's part of
And
what...
difficult. It's
and
difficult for everybody.
And that's part of what my sisters and I are talking about. Like where was Dad when he passed that line? And of course, you've got to be complicit in this. You've got to know this is something my sister would want, and it's not easy, but it's teaching us to appreciate the time we have left as well.
Jack, you have this in your family history, too. Are you concerned? Is this something you have ever thought about doing?
Well, we've talked, on my wife's side of the family, my mother-in-law, my wife's mother, suffered and died from Alzheimer's, grandmother on that side of the family, and my wife and I have gotten involved in it because of that, and we've had conversations. And the important thing, as Lee said, is you have to have conversations with other family members, have everybody have some understanding of what you're looking for and hoping for when you get to those stages of your life. But they're very difficult conversations to have.
Lee and Jack, thank you, and an important conversation to have, certainly.